Ladies and gentlemen, they don't hate you because you're different. They hate you because your freedom forces them to confront truths they'd rather ignore. Every time you choose yourself over their approval, you challenge the fragile foundations of their carefully constructed reality. This isn't just a rebellion, it's a revelation. Most people live tethered to the expectations of others. They build lives centered on being needed, validated, and indispensable. But you've chosen a different path. A path where your worth isn't measured by others' opinions or approval. That scares them, not because of what it says about you, but because of what it reveals about them. Your independence shines a light on the fears they've buried, the fear that their worth might crumble without external validation. You've done what they've told themselves is impossible. You've learned to thrive without their approval, their praise, or their permission. In doing so, you've broken an unspoken rule of their world, and that's why they hate you. Think about how much of life revolves around being needed. Relationships, careers, social circles, all of them tied together by invisible strings of obligation and expectation. For many, being needed is their identity. It's their proof of worth. But you've cut those strings. You've proven that you don't need to be anyone's puppet, that you can stand tall on your own. And in doing so, you've shattered their illusion that dependency is the only way to exist. Their system is a delicate web, spun from the threads of mutual validation. Everyone plays their part, trading approval and admiration like currency. It's a pyramid scheme of emotional codependency, where the value of one's existence is measured by how essential they appear to others. Then you come along, walking through their web like it's made of nothing but mist. Your independence sends shockwaves through their system, threatening to unravel it. You don't need their validation, their approval, or their rules. You've shown that life can be built on something far more solid, your own choices. Your self-sufficiency isn't just a rejection of their way of life. It's a mirror that reflects everything they've avoided. They see in you the person they could have been, the risks they didn't take, the dreams they abandoned for comfort, the freedom they traded for the safety of dependency. This reflection is unbearable for them. It forces them to question their choices, to confront the possibility that they've spent their lives climbing a ladder that leads nowhere. Your independence is proof that their rules, the rules they've clung to so tightly, aren't necessary, and that terrifies them. When you refuse to laugh at their hollow jokes or nod along to their shallow conversations, it's not arrogance, it's authenticity. When you stop playing the roles they've assigned to you, you're not being difficult, you're being free. But they'll call you selfish, they'll label you arrogant, they'll pathologize your independence because that's easier than admitting the truth. You've shown them that their way isn't the only way. Have you noticed how desperately they try to pull you back into their world? They insist that their way of living is the only path to happiness. They push their lifestyle choices onto you, telling you that you're missing out if you don't conform. But their insistence isn't about caring for you. It's about validating themselves. Every time someone chooses a different path, it's a reminder that their choices might not have been the best ones. Your self-sufficiency is a direct challenge to their narrative that happiness comes from conformity and mutual neediness. They've sold their freedom for a blueprint of success that promised joy through dependence and validation. Then you come along, tearing up the blueprint and writing your own rules. You're not just breaking their rules, you're proving that their rules were never necessary to begin with. What they don't understand is that freedom isn't about isolation, it's about choice. when you don't need someone but still choose to have them in your life. That's when real connection happens. True connection isn't transactional. It doesn't depend on obligation or guilt. It's about mutual respect and shared values. But they're too afraid of that kind of freedom to understand it. Their relationships are built on the shaky foundation of mutual need, not genuine connection. They can't imagine a world where people stay in each other's lives out of love, not obligation. And so they try to lure you back into their web with promises of belonging and acceptance. They paint a picture of everything you're missing by not needing them. What they don't realize is that your freedom isn't about rejecting them. It's about choosing yourself. And when you choose yourself, you create space for connections that are real, unforced, and unbreakable. The most ironic part of their hatred is that it reveals their dependency. They need you to crave their approval. They need you to feel the sting of their disapproval. Their hatred is just another form of dependency. It's their way of trying to pull you back into their web, to make you need them again. But once you see their hatred for what it is, a desperate bid for relevance, it loses its power. Their disapproval becomes a badge of honor, a symbol of your freedom. Every time they criticize you, gossip about you, or try to tear you down, they're really just confirming what you already know. You've broken free, and they haven't. Watch how they frame their relationships. They don't see you as an equal partner. They see you as a project, a favor, or a debt. Their language is full of subtle manipulations. You're lucky to have me. No one else would put up with you. These phrases are bricks in the prison they're trying to build around your independence. Their goal isn't to connect with you. It's to control you. They want your gratitude, your dependence, your unquestioning acceptance of their superiority. Through their eyes, your independence is a betrayal. They've invested so much in being indispensable that your freedom feels like theft. But their control was always an illusion. The power they thought they had over you was built on your belief in it. And the moment you stop believing is the moment their control crumbles. For too long, they've written the narrative. They've cast themselves as the heroes, the saviors, the indispensable ones. And they've written you as the supporting character, forever indebted to their generosity. But stories can be rewritten. You have the pen now, and it's time to write a new narrative. One where your worth isn't measured by their approval. One where your independence isn't a threat, but a strength. One where you're the author of your own life. When you begin to question the story they've told, the cracks in their narrative become impossible to ignore. Their reminders of your supposed luck turn into desperate attempts to hold on to a power they never truly had. Let them hate. Let them criticize. Let them desperately try to convince you that their way is better. Because their hatred isn't about you. It's about their own insecurities. It's about their fear of being unnecessary, their terror of a world where they're not as essential as they thought. Beneath every "you're lucky to have me" lies a truth they don't want to face. They need you far more than you need them. Their need for your dependency is the foundation of their power. And when you refuse to play along, that foundation crumbles. Your independence isn't just a rejection of their rules. It's a declaration of something better. It's a reminder that freedom isn't about isolation. It's about choice. It's about building a life that's yours and yours alone. So let them hate. Let them gossip. Let them pathologize your independence. Every word of their criticism is proof that you've done something extraordinary. You've broken free from their web of mutual neediness, their pyramid of dependency, Their illusion of control, their hatred is your crown. Their disapproval is your badge of honor, because in the end, they don't hate you for who you are. They hate you for what you've shown them, a different way to live, a way that's freer, truer, and infinitely more powerful. Wear your freedom with pride, because it's not just your liberation, it's a beacon for anyone else ready to break free. If you're looking for more content on self-growth, healing, and finding strength in difficult times, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. I've got a lot more empowering content coming your way, and I'd love to have you join this amazing community. Take care, and remember, you're irreplaceable. See you in the next video.